Hey everybody, I'm back again. This week I'm redoing my support video. I did one pretty early on for a friend of mine, but now that we're actually to where it's supposed to be, I decided to redo it. This way it'll have a good mic. It will be more in depth since I've been doing a little bit more research into how to play a good support. So there are several different types of supports, several different play styles. I like the utility supports, so that'll be like Soraka, Sona, Nami, Lulu, people who really stick by their ADC and just buff their teams because they're another backline fighter. Then there's also a disruption support, and these are your like Thresh, Blitzcrank, Morgana, anybody who, while in a team fight, can force somebody out of position. So, and then the last type of support is like an off-tank support. So Leona or some Threshes can be built that way. More of a tanky kind of support. The first rule about being a support is that you don't want to get any CS. So remember last week how I said this week we're not going to be talking about getting as much CS as possible? This is why. Supports role is to give the ADC as much gold as possible. So there's a couple of items. There's one item, the face of the mountain. I don't remember what the first level of that is, but when you attack a minion, then your gold will also be given to your ADC. That's pretty much the only time you're gonna want to attack minions. Sona, she's kind of forced to because she can't really control where that attack goes, and you'll see that I accidentally take a couple of CS, but I try not to. Something I found while I was doing my research is that a support should play almost identically to an ADC. You want to get into trading stance and poke when it's time to poke. You're going to want to harass. The only difference is that you're not going for CS. So how this has changed my playstyle is I pretend that I'm just super buff all the time. Like I'm strong and I can dish out some damage. And that gives me a little bit more confidence to move forward and just get right up in their faces. As a support, you're able to soak up a lot of damage that would go to your ADC. So that way your ADC doesn't have to buy potions. Your ADC can just focus on damage items, which will help you in the late game. So if you're the one who's buying wards and potions, that's more money that your ADC has to spend on items that will actually help you win the game. And as far as being like an ADC goes, you're also going to want to help him push up the lane. When I first started, because I was so worried about taking CS, I wouldn't really poke the minions or auto attack the minions when I could, and we would end up just freezing the lane in the middle because I wasn't really helping my ADC push. But like we mentioned last week in the ADC video, that we want to push up to their turret so we can have them suppressed. Part of working with your ADC with strong cohesion is if you draw maybe an imaginary line that goes exactly across the line of scrimmage. As long as you're both on the same side of the line or relatively close to each other, you're able to support each other and avoid, like what I just took was a needless hook. I needlessly got hooked. Fortunately, their Graves was a little bit more afraid and backed off when our Varus moved up. But you see that our Varus had to use his long shot in order to do any damage at all. And then right here, we're kind of like dancing back and forth. We don't really know if we should go in. As you get higher in games, you'll be able to tell a little bit better about what you should be doing. As a support, it's also up to you to initiate engages because your ADC should be just focusing on getting CS. Now, I just saw that he hit level 6, which means he has his ult, and I'm super close, one hit. So I immediately go into position so I get both of them with my ult. Now, he didn't really expect it, so he didn't follow up as much as he could, but as a support, just don't be afraid to use your ult. If you can get one or two guys with it, it's worth it. Of course, every ult is different. So like Thresh has got his box. If you can get one person, get him really out of position with that box, that's worth it. So Varus and I just noticed that there's a pretty moderate sized team fight going on mid, and actually we lose Heimerdinger and E has to back out. So I'm going up this way to kind of bait them into attacking me, and I was really hoping that they would both jump on me so that I would be able to hit both of them with my ult. So a good strategy is to actually wait until they go full engage before you use your ult. So this is really important for a Sona ult or a Nami ult. So this clip really highlights the fact of you want to wait to use your ult and your CC until they go all in. So Varus gets stuck out, and then three of them jump right in there, and one of them backs off. But because I was able to stun two of them, and E is just so OP, we're able to turn that team fight from a loss to a win, because they were gonna back us off, and then we were able to get enough damage on them. So not only do we go we went 5 for 0, and are gonna get this turret because we just waited to use our group CC until after they hard engaged. So like I was saying about the three different types of supports, utility support, or somebody who's got a lot of healing or protects, should stick to their ADC like white on rice. We see that my Varus just got stuck out just a little bit, and I was able to come to his rescue. He didn't really need it, but you get the idea. I just based, and the first thing I did was run straight back for my ADC, and you'll see that I'm trying to put myself in front of him as much as possible, and I was able to ult the Zed and the Thresh to keep them from fighting him. And now see, look, I'm just body blocking for my Varus. That Graves really wants to get in there, but he knows if he dedicates his whole time to chasing after that Varus, he's gonna lose it. As a disruption champion, you'll see that Morgana plays a little bit differently. She's all about getting people out of position. So you see that Ahri, she's actually really fed, and if I let her follow that my ADC, then she'll be able to get a double kill on us. But because I was able to bring her out of position, this Darius is able to come in for a shutdown and leaves both of us available to come into this team fight. Now they only have Evelynn as a carry in this fight. So I'm able to again get them out of position. I bring them right into our ADC and Darius, who's, I can't remember if he's really fed or if he was just full life and didn't get focused, but he's able to come and clean up. So we actually win a 3v5 and force them to go back. And now our whole team is here. We're gonna actually turn this into I think I die during this. The Ahri just runs up and kills me, but we're able to get a turret and half an inhib out of this. It's actually a really big win for us. I don't have a tanky champion, a tanky support like Leona. It's probably going to be my next purchase, so I at least have one. But they play a little bit differently they play a lot differently than any other support because they're in the front line. The whole team fight, not just at the very beginning like disruption supports are. So what they end up doing is just playing a tank role, just like any other tank. Support is kind of a weird role to actually play because you're not going to get any credit unless you're playing with really high-end players, because they don't really see the effects of having a good support. And you're going to get blamed if your team loses almost every time. Well, frequently, not every time. But some things that you can do to help your team, to ensure your team is going to win, is try to win subtly. So like I talked in my minions video about forming a super wave. As a support, if you see that a minion wave is coming up to one of your towers, just go up really quickly, take out the front line, and leave it to become a super wave. Also, warding, constantly ward is the best way to support your team in giving them vision. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching this video of supports.
support is really my favorite role to play. So I enjoy making these videos, and I enjoy showing you what I enjoy doing. The past 2 weeks have been roles that I don't necessarily play all that often, so they weren't. There's more of like a learning experience, but I really enjoyed this one because I'm pretty good at support. I don't really have to have a learning curve. I was able to just play, which was fortunate because I didn't actually have a lot of time to play this past week. I think I only had 4 games this past week, so I'm glad I had the footage that I got the footage that I do. If you have any comments of anything that I may have missed, go ahead and leave it down below. As always, please like if you liked it and subscribe. I really could use the help. As always, I hope you had fun. I had fun. Catch you next time.